Aaron Rodgers and the Packers play the Bills this weekend. And get this, the 10-3 first-place Packers are only favored by 4.5 points. One possible explanation, well, take a look at this. All three of Green Bay's losses this season have come on the road. And Aaron Rodgers has had 3 picks. They too have come on the road. So perhaps that is the reason why the Packers are only favored by 4.5 points against the Buffalo Bills. Jerome Bettis, your take on why that is?
Well, when I look at this line, it screams to me, be careful. Be very, very careful for all those fans that are rooting for the Green Bay Packers who think the Green Bay Packers are just going to go out and roll over the Buffalo Bills. So this line is saying they're due for a letdown. The letdown is going to happen in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills will play well.
Okay.
And then you look at the games to really kind of back you up. You look at how Buffalo played in Denver. They played well. You know, if Kyle Orton can stop turning the football over, two turnovers last week, 2 turnovers the week before, but if he can limit those turnovers, now the Buffalo Bills have a really good shot. Now you look at Green Bay, they played a tough game against the Atlanta Falcons where they won the football game, but they exerted a lot of energy. The defense was exposed quite a bit, and not like that hasn't been the case all year, but you saw a vulnerable side of that team. So now they go on the road to play Buffalo. It's a perfect storm, and that's what this line at 4.5 points is telling me. Be careful. Be very, very careful.
Proceed with caution.
All right, so I'll start by saying this. Buffalo just slowed down one Peyton Manning. So let's look at the Bills defensively, and this is why they're a very good team defensively. They're number 1 in sacks. Opposing quarterbacks QBR, they're number 2. Pass defense, they're 5th. Rush defense, they're 8th. And they're tied for 2nd in interceptions. That's why they're having the type of success that they're having.
Those are big-time numbers.
Their defense can really – look at their defensive line. Look at the guys they have on the defensive line. They got a number 1 pick. They have guys on their defensive line that can really play. They've drafted well, and they brought in good free agents on the defensive side of the ball. That's why the line is 4.5. It's going to be cold out there, and the Buffalo Bills really have a defense. That's why. But as Stephen A. will say, they going against – that bad man.
You just had to say it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Man, Aaron Rodgers, he's like if you tick all your quarterback boxes, that's him. He's nice size. He has a good release, a quick release, a great arm. He can move in the pocket. They have weapons on offense. I don't think the game is going to be close, to be honest with you, unless weather slows them down. They're playing on the road, but similar to Green Bay. The weather is similar to Green Bay. Only thing that concerns me, and that's a big, is that defensive line of Buffalo's. They can really play, man. And the reason Buffalo has had its success is because that defense is great. If you give them better play at the quarterback position, they'll be right there challenging New England for the division crown, but they haven't had that consistent quarterback play.
Okay, I hear you leaning toward a blowout.
No, not a blowout. I would say Buffalo can't score the amount of points it needs to keep the game fairly close, in my opinion. Unless that defense comes up big, which they can, then I would say about 30-14, 30-17 type of score.
So you think this Green Bay offense will score 30 points on Buffalo's defense?
Yeah, I'm an offensive guy. I believe in Aaron Rodgers.
But those numbers don't lie.
But you got to understand, now the offense might not score 30. Kyle Orton might give them 10.
Okay.
So the offense doesn't have to score 30 points. Because their defense, like you said, they had been playing pretty well, and Atlanta kind of exposed them. But how many teams have a Julio Jones? And so that's tough. Not too many people can put pressure on you on the outside like Julio can. They don't have that. And so Kyle Orton will give them some points, but I see Green Bay winning this easily. The spread is 4.5, but it's because the Buffalo's defense is really good.
Sammy Watkins has been playing well, couple of yard games. I would just say that.
Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Kyle Orton.
I'll just say that. That's all.
Kyle Orton is not Matt Ryan.
I'm with Jerome on this one. I believe that Green Bay will win this game by 4.5 points. I know that's impossible, so I'll have to say by 5. Let's just say Green Bay wins this game by 5.
Okay.
Green Bay does have to travel after your basic, long, tough Monday night game in which they almost got in trouble. And this Green Bay team is bizarre to me because it is invincible at home. It is a juggernaut at home, and it is a split personality away. And you just look at the numbers and you just say, what is this about? Because on the road, they've been outscored by 26 points. At home, they have outscored the opposition by 145 points, which is an average of 21 points a game. They're winning by an average of 21 a game at home. Well, they're like the Saints used to be in the Superdome, where they would just blow you away. No matter who you were, the Patriots could go there. They would just get wiped off the carpet by the Saints, by Breeze and company. So now that's happening at Lambeau, although it just started this year because I remind you, Colin Kaepernick won a playoff game at Lambeau just last year. Now, Aaron was coming off his what was it?
Broken
Fractured collarbone, yeah. And maybe he wasn't quite right yet. And he has not played poorly on the road. But their team has played poorly on the road. It's like they're a product of Lambeau Leaps. You know, they just light up at Lambeau no matter what the weather is. But then I just remind you, they opened at Seattle and they lost 36-16. And they went to Detroit and they managed 7 points against a very good defense, 19-7. And at New Orleans, they lost 44-23 to what's turned out to be a bad Saints team. And then they had one big wipeout. They wiped the Bears out. Everybody wipes the Bears out at home. But at Miami, they were really lucky to pull that game out 27-24. And at Minnesota, it was 24-21. So listen to these numbers. Look how close these games were, or they got blown out. So their road history this year, just this year, would tell you that this spread against those defensive numbers at Buffalo after a Monday night game would tell you this is going to be a slugfest, man. This is going to be a tough game for them.